Hi, in this particular video we're going to be looking at stratified sampling. This is aimed at round about grade 5 GCSE maths. It's fairly straightforward once you get used to the method. Please do stop the video, have a go at each of the questions and then compare your solutions. I'll look forward to seeing you inside the video. Hi, in this video we're going to be looking at something called stratified sampling. This is GCSE maths, around about grade 5, something like that. Okay, it's fairly straightforward. Once you get to grips with it, you should be okay. Please do stop the video, have a go at the question and then compare your solution. Okay, so Joe is carrying out a survey and uses a stratified sample. So what that means is that at the moment in year 7, we've got 220 students. Now, if we add up all of these students in the whole school, it means that we've got 891 students in this particular school, of which 220 are in year 7, 182 in year 8, 161 in year 9, and so on. Okay, so basically all we're saying is that if we want to make a stratified sample of 90 students and we want to find out the number of year 9 students, we're basically saying that we want the same fraction. So 161 out of 891 is the fraction of the students in the school who are in year 9, 161 out of the total amount of students. Now, if we make that of the 90 students, what we're saying is it's the same fraction of 90 students. Pop that into a calculator and you're going to get 16.26 recurring. So we're basically saying that in year 9 there should be 16 students. Okay, now with these sorts of questions, sometimes you do get these recurring, or sometimes you do get decimal places. You just got to take a bit of a judgment call and round it to the nearest person. Okay, so 16 students would be right for this particular sample. Okay, number 2 then. So very similar sort of idea. In a school, 277 students. In this particular one, they've actually added up all of these numbers and they said there's 277 altogether. Okay, so a slightly different bit of wording, stratified by language studied and by gender of 60 of the 277 students. So it's a little bit wordy, but it means exactly the same as the first question. What we're saying is the number of female students studying English is going to be 56 out of 277. And the stratified sample that we're looking for is going to be 60, okay, 60 of the 277 students. So 60 is the stratified sample, and that's going to give us 12.12996 ... Okay, so the number of female students studying English in the sample that we're going to use would be 12 students. Okay, so very similar to the first one, just a little bit more wordy in the way that they've written it. Okay, let's have a look at the final question in this particular set. Okay, and this is at a hospital, and we've got 746 patients had the same operation. Okay, so if we've got all of these patients, what we're trying to do then is put together a grid of all the stratified sample patients that we need to be looking at. Okay, so let's have a look at that then. So we do the same process. What we're saying is if there's 746 patients, 84 of them are male and under 18. So 84 out of 746 of the stratified sample of 80 is going to give us exactly 9 patients. So this number will go into here. Okay, now I'm going to put this in right at the very end, and you'll see why just in a couple of minutes. So let's have a look at the next one. Well, it's 39 female under the age of 18 out of 746 multiplied by 80, and that's going to give us 4.18. Okay, and I'm going to do the same now for the 1865 male. So that's going to be 342 out of 746 of the 80 in the sample. That's going to be 36.675. Now you'll notice this number then will round up to 37. It's quite likely I'm going to use 37, and we'll see how we end up at the end of it. So 194 out of 746 multiplied by 80 equals 20.804. So that's likely to be 21. Okay, and then the last one is the over 65 male, which is, or the last but one is 50 over 746 multiplied by 80, and that's going to give us 5.362. And then finally 37 over 746 multiplied by 80 equals 3.967. Now I do suggest you do it this way, because what we need to do is, you'll remember that we're trying to get 80 patients all together. So sometimes we've got to round up, sometimes we've got to round down. Okay, now in this particular case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this one 9 and 4. Okay, this one I'm going to make 37, and I'm going to make that 21. Okay, and then finally I'm going to make that 5 and 4. Now, as it happens with this particular question, if I add up all of those numbers, I'm going to get 80 in total. But sometimes you do need to adjust the numbers ever so slightly just to make them work for you. But in this particular case, it works out exactly. Okay, I hope that's been useful to you. Please do add a comment if you're not sure about anything. I'll always come back to you. Please add a like. It's really appreciated and keeps YouTube very happy. And I'll look forward to seeing you inside the next video.